Okay, so Eagles OTAs are continuing to roll on, and one of the Birds' most interesting additions impressed during last week's practice, while he also expressed his confidence that he can make an impact. Plus, a few of the Eagles' other new additions are confident and competing at OTAs as they seem primed for a bounce-back season in 2024. Also, Josh Sweat just made a really interesting big change, while AJ Brown looks to be in great shape and ready for this upcoming season. Plus, there are some high expectations being laid out for Jalen Carter. So let's talk about all that, and we won't waste any time, let's get straight into it. So I want to start off this video by saying happy Memorial Day, and thank you to all the veterans out there, as well as the ones who lost their lives while fighting for our country. All of you truly are heroes. But now getting into Eagles football, we switch our attention to AJ Brown, who looks like he's in incredible shape, possibly the best shape of his career, as he just posted this photo to his Instagram story of him looking absolutely jacked. And this is great because it's just one small example of AJ working extremely hard during the offseason, which is just so exciting because a lot of the times when players get paid big contracts, they might tend to not work quite as hard, but AJ is the complete opposite of that, as he's working harder than ever this offseason after getting paid 2 big contracts by Philly, with the most recent one coming this offseason. And despite what the media may want to say about him, he's also continuing to prove that he's a great leader, and he's also been setting a great example for the younger guys. So this photo of him looking to be in phenomenal shape just adds onto the list of reasons why we should be excited about AJ as he's entering his 3rd year in Philly. And something else that's exciting is this video of Jalen Hurts throwing a pass to AJ during OTAs, as even though this video doesn't tell us anything, it's just cool to see the Jalen and AJ connection back out on the field preparing for this upcoming season. And speaking of Hurts, there was obviously this internet drama recently surrounding him due to some overdramatic headlines saying that, oh, Kenny Pickett is outperforming Jalen Hurts during OTAs, when in reality, these headlines all started from a small, potentially somewhat taken out of context snippet from an article that was literally listing overreaction from the one singular OTA practice that the media had access to, and the nature of these stupid headlines seems like a way to just clickbait and try and start unnecessary drama in Philly. So basically, it's all just kind of BS, and I broke it all down in my last video, so if you want to check that one out after this video, you can. But one good thing that actually came from the original article that kind of started all this drama is that it seems like both Jalen Hurts and backup QB Kenny Pickett looked good during OTAs, with Pickett actually surprising some of the media members with how sharp he looked. So it seems like the former first-round pick and Steelers starter is off to a pretty good start in Philly this offseason, and Pickett himself actually recently was able to speak with NBC 10 in Philadelphia, where he praised Jalen Hurts while also expressing his excitement to be in Philly.
It's been great. I mean, obviously, Jalen's an incredibly talented player. He's played in this system, a similar system, and we're kind of all learning this new one together. So the communication back and forth in the quarterback room has been awesome, with the quarterbacks coaching us and Kellen. So I couldn't ask for a better room, better staff, to be working with, and obviously the talent around this team is pretty special. So it's a great group to be on.
Based off that, it really does sound like Pickett is happy to be here in Philly, and that's a great thing because I really do think that he's one of the better backup QBs in the NFL at this point, at least with his experience of being a starter, where, don't get me wrong, he definitely struggled, but at the same time, as a backup, I do think that Pickett is one of the better ones in this league, and as long as he embraces his role of being the backup to Jalen, and he also just continues to work hard and get better and stay ready from week to week, then I think the Eagles will be set at that spot for the next couple seasons while Kenny remains under contract. But now, moving on, one other new addition who, like Kenny, seems to be excited about his first year in Philly is linebacker Devin White, who's really starting to grow on me, honestly, because on top of seemingly already becoming a leader for the Eagles defense in just his first offseason with the Birds, he's also been impressing on the field during OTAs, reportedly breaking up a pass intended for Saquon Barkley during 7-on-7s last Wednesday, and White actually recently posted a picture of this play on his Instagram story saying, "Iron sharpens iron, we working." So again, this is definitely exciting, and based on everything we've seen this offseason, it really seems like Devin White could be primed to have a bounce back year after having a down season in 2023, and I'm just glad to see that White is working hard and he's taken on a leadership role with the Eagles, and also the fact that he's just been impressive at OTA so far. So all that is definitely a great sign for him heading into this season. But someone else who is also impressing is the new cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, as even though the Eagles acquired him last year in August, he's only just got to participate in activities with the team and start practicing recently, and he apparently looked really good during the Eagles open OTA practice last week, as he started at cornerback opposite Darius with James Bradberry not being there, and he reportedly had some really nice tight coverage all day, as he apparently got into some great battles with the new wide receiver Paris Campbell, and he also apparently had a pass breakup at one point. So it's just great to hear that Rodgers is performing well, and he's apparently been able to make a good first impression and impress Eagles cornerback Darius Slay, as he said this about Rodgers in a recent press conference.
It's been amazing, man. He's been a great addition. I've been seeing him making plays. I watched the film a couple of times. He's made a lot of PBUs, a lot of stuff. He's the next ones that want to race me because he think he's faster than me too, so we're going to have to make that happen, so I'm going to have to race him. But other than that, been a good addition, been great. Man, I watched his tape in Indy. And, he was making plays there, great in special teams as a returner. So he got a lot of tools, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action and out here competing, because he could do it all, outside, inside, whatever he need to do. So we got a lot of guys in this secondary this year can be very versatile.
You honestly kind of have to wonder if Rodgers could be in the mix to start at outside cornerback this year, with just so many guys that could realistically compete for that job. And it seems like he's confident in himself, with him making multiple statements on Twitter saying, quote, "Please don't let this 1 year fool you. I'm still me. Trust me." And also, quote, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay." So he just loved to hear that he's confident. And overall, it's great that he's had the start he's had in OTAs. And someone else who is confident is safety CJ Gardner-Johnson, as he's made it clear since he's returned to Philly that he believes he's one of the best players at his position and he can make a major impact in returning to this defense.
I think it's my time to be cocky. It's my time to be cocky. I still one of the best young safeties in the league, so I ain't worried about, I'm ready to keep it going.
So I guess we'll find out this year if CJ is one of the league's top safeties or not, but I also think that there's no question that he should be an upgrade over what the Birds had last year, both in production but also versatility, energy, and mentality. And even though last year was kind of a rough one for CJ, both in terms of health and also specifically in the Lions' last game, which was the NFC Championship, he didn't really look great on the field in that one, but just based on his recent production over the last few seasons as a whole, he definitely is in line to bounce back from that rough game as long as he stays healthy. With PFF naming CJ as the Eagles' top bounce-back candidate for this year, saying, quote, "Quietly though, Philly reunited with Gardner-Johnson, who should provide a boost to the secondary that was torn apart last year. Gardner-Johnson played only 291 snaps in 2023 because of a torn pec, and his late-season return was a mixed bag. The safety was a weak link in the Lions' conference championship loss to the 49ers with a 33.9 overall grade. Part of why Gardner-Johnson wasn't as good last year was his diminished pass rush, with his 50.7 grade in that department a career low by a landslide. Then again, it's encouraging that his coverage grade remained consistent based on years past. If Vic Fangio deploys CJ more as a blitzer, he should have a better 2024. And I definitely think that the struggles CJ had last year were mainly a result of injury, and with his coverage grade remaining similar to previous years, along with his mentality and versatility, plus with the Eagles having a new and better defensive coordinator in Vic Fangio, and also just the talent that CJ has around him on this Eagles defense, I think it's likely that he bounces back this year. But what do you guys think? Now, on top of CJ being confident, we also know that the second-year man Jalen Carter is confident in himself heading into this year, as after having a rookie season which he described as just okay, he made it clear that he's working hard so that he has a bigger season in year 2. And it seems like the expectations are really, really high for Carter around the league, or just in media circles, as not only was he graded as the 3rd best interior pass rusher from last year, PFF also named Carter as one of the top 3 Eagles on the roster heading into 2024 over some other big-time players. So that's definitely very interesting, but regardless of whatever your opinions are on that, I do feel like there's no doubt that the Birds are going to be relying very heavily on Carter this year, and he should have a big 2024 season. And now, staying on the defensive line, let's take a look at Josh Sweat, who just made a really big change, as he switched his number from 94, which he has worn for the past 5 seasons, to the number 19. Now, Brandon Lee Gowden provided a little bit of context in a recent Bleeding Green Nation article saying, quote, "It's not yet clear what prompted the change. Sweat wore number 9 in high school and at Florida State, so maybe it was about getting closer to that, and he obviously isn't going to be able to wear number 9 in Philly with that number being unavailable since Nick Foles left." Now, to be honest, I could really care less about what the reasoning is. I just think it looks absolutely disgusting. I mean, 94 looked great on Sweat, while 19, in my opinion, just looks absolutely terrible, especially for a defensive end, but I mean, it's a number. It's not that big of a deal. And you guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And you can also let me know your thoughts on this trade proposed by Alex Ballantyne of Bleacher Report that has James Bradberry going to the Cardinals along with a 2025 4th round pick in exchange for a 2025 5th round pick. So in essence, in this scenario, you're giving the Cardinals draft capital to take on Bradberry's big contract and cap it, while the aging and declining vet reunites with his former defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon. Now, if the Eagles do in fact move on from Bradberry by trading him, this seems like a semi-realistic scenario, at least, where the Eagles would have to actually give something up to get rid of him, and the big question would be whether the Eagles want to lose draft capital to trade him, or they could just cut him or keep him and eat his cap hit. So I don't exactly know what they want to do or what the right move is, but we'll certainly find out as the offseason continues on. And there's also going to be plenty more stuff happening as well, including the rest of OTAs as well as the mandatory minicamp that's coming up next week for the Eagles. So I'm going to be covering all that here on this channel, as well as just everything Eagles related year round. So if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you subscribe, and also really, really importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of those videos is uploaded. And also make sure you drop a like to show some support. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to watch another Eagles video, you can check this one out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.